All right. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for checking in. So, for the most part, the market seems quiet, but I think there's two areas we can focus on for some potential trades. Yeah, you see, the S&P is not really moving. Let's look at our healthcare sector. That's kind of just down a little bit, but these financials are really getting stretched out, right? This is our financial sector ETF, so this maps the sector. So it's up even more, and it's very overbought. Now, if we look down here, this is what we call the RSI indicator, which measures momentum. Notice how every time this blue line gets above this horizontal red line and then gets back below it, that's when we have our move lower. That's important. Just because something is overbought, if the blue line gets above this red line, is we call it overbought. It means it's trading above its normal or typical range. But things can be overbought for a long time. So just because it gets above it, doesn't mean there's a trade. My opinion is you're better off waiting for a reversal. When the line turns and starts to go back down, that's your signal. So, like here, you would have sold right up here, literally on the top day. Here, you would have sold here, literally on the top day. Here, you would have sold there, literally on the top day. So, we're getting back there. We're getting pretty stretched out. And some of this is coming from, Goldman Sachs reported it's trading up 3%, so it's really overstretched. Citigroup reported yeah, it's overstretched too, but it's close to a former peak. And as we know, things tend to run into resistance at former peaks. Bank of America, it's trading up too. So if you're not an options trader and you want to take advantage of a potential move down, which I'm pretty sure we're going to get, there's this FAZ ETF, FAZ. This is an inverse ETF. It's designed to move in the opposite direction of the financial sector by about three times as much. So it's a leveraged ETF. So be careful, because if things go your way and the financials start to reverse, then this is going to do really well, right? It's going to go up by three times. If the sector's down 1%, this will be up by 3%. But of course, with leverage, it's great if it goes your way, but if it doesn't go your way, it's not so great. So just be careful there. The next thing I'm looking at for a potential trade is there's a big move in the oil markets this morning. And as we know, levels that were support can become support again, because we have people who sold at the bottom who regret doing so when we rally. Okay. And they say, I made a mistake. If it gets back to my price, I'm going to buy my, in this case, oil back. But the principles hold for any market. And if you have enough remorseful sellers placing buy orders at the level that was support, it can become support again. So if we get back down to around 67 or so in oil, we're at about 71 this morning, I would be looking for another bounce. Now, if you're not a futures trader, that's okay. You can get some exposure with this USO ETF. This is designed to track the price of oil. Now, the charts look very different. You might say, well, why do they look so different? Well, I guess they don't look that different. But the oil market is open 24/7. So, and the USO is only open from 9:30 to 4 Eastern time. So that's the disconnect. What I would do is I would watch the oil future, and then you place your trade over here. So if oil gets back down to that level around 67, starts to rally, then you could kind of just jump in over here and take advantage of the upside. Of course, you could trade some of the energy stocks too. ExxonMobil follows oil fairly well. Oh, actually, I take that back. Look how it's been doing. But yeah, so that USO ETF is good. Let's just take a quick look at the energy sector real quick here. This is the energy sector ETF. All right, so that's it, everybody. I think look for a potential reversal in financials. You can think about the FAZ ETF if you're not an options trader, and look for a potential bounce coming up in oil if it gets down another $2 or $3. All right, thanks everyone. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you soon.